The first story of the day is very, very important to me. Very, very important. Very, 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 very important. One of the most important things to me. One of the most lied about things on Twitter, on Facebook, on Google. Bernie Sanders lies about it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez lies about it. Obama lies about it. Nancy Pelosi lies about it. Jimmy Kimmel lies about it. They all lie about it. And it is the individual mandate. And I'm going to talk about it today because ObamaCare was ruled unconstitutional. But yeah, I'm not a judge. I'm not a politician. He thinks it's a certain thing. Liberals will say he's lying, but forget what the judge said. That's all politics. That's law. I'm going to just talk about the truth and common sense. Okay, so individual mandate. What is that? An individual mandate is a requirement by law for certain persons to purchase or otherwise obtain a good or service. I'll read it again. Individual mandate is a requirement by law for certain people to purchase or obtain a good or a service. So in easier terms to understand, individual mandate is when the government tells you you have to buy something. So it's basically stealing your money. I don't know another way to put it. Whether it's healthcare or this or that, it's when the government comes to you and says, hey, I have a choice. I have some freedom for you. Either you buy this healthcare plan that you don't want and it's going to cost you $4,000 a year, $8,000 a year, $10,000 a year, $20,000 a year, $40,000, whatever it is. Maybe not that high, but if you're a business, probably. You have to buy this. And if you don't buy it, you have to buy it. You're buying it, okay? So either you're going to buy it or you're going to pay more money. So buy the healthcare plan. That's what Obamacare did. And I knew something was wrong, but I was too young to really understand what happened before. But before Obamacare, you had this wild idea of either you could buy healthcare, and especially at my age, to be honest, I don't want to buy healthcare. I'm pretty healthy. It seems like a waste of money. I can't use it. The plan doesn't work. The premiums are so high that, like Trump says, you'd literally have to get hit by a car to use it. It doesn't work for like any minor things. So it's a waste of money. So what I would do without Obama scamming me or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Bernie Sanders is I would have the freedom to take a risk. Either I buy healthcare and waste $4,000 a year, but then yeah, if something really bad happens, I save a little bit of money. Or I just don't do it, and it's my choice. You know what I'm saying? That's like everyone should have the freedom to do what they want in America. Either you choose to pay into a system or you don't. Obama changed that because he put an individual mandate, and he said, no, you have to buy this or we're going to steal your money anyway. Why does Obama do it? Why would Bernie Sanders or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez do it? Because they can't afford these big trillion-dollar plans. They don't have the money for it. They're not taking out loans. The Federal Reserve's not paying for it. Billionaires and trillionaires aren't going to pay for it like Bernie Sanders. Working class people are going to have to foot most of the bill. Well, rich people do pay taxes too, some of them, but a lot of working class people are forced to pay this money. So it's not free. It's not universal. It's not helping millions of, yeah, maybe poor people who have nothing are now getting free plans, but who's paying for it? Working class and middle class people. So it's a total financial enslavement scam to scam you into paying. They suck the money out of you because they don't have the money for their plans. They can't afford it. It's why California needs to have text message tax and gas tax because they're running out of other people's money. And that's what, when you go too far left on a tax scale, it always happens. The rates go up, especially when they bring in millions of illegal immigrants and they want to bring in all these families from Honduras and Mexico. That's great. I have friends from Mexico and Honduras, but I'm talking strictly like math and economics. When you steal other people's money and you give it to people who don't pay into the system, it's going to get higher and higher and higher. So this federal judge, I believe in Texas, ruled Obamacare unconstitutional because of this individual mandate. And Trump actually repealed the individual mandate earlier, and I think it goes into play next year, hopefully this year too, we'll see. But Trump got rid of that, and he touted that. He was super happy about that, and the news never covered it. They said Trump's such a bad person. He wants to kill a bunch of women and children. He's leaving millions of people uninsured. But here's what they're not telling you. First of all, not everybody wants health insurance. There's probably millions of people who don't even want health insurance. I know this because I'm one of them. I don't personally. I know this might be controversial to some, but I think I could take care of my health better than the federal government at this point in time. When I get older, maybe it might make more sense, but Obamacare has scammed $6,000 out of me, $8,000 out of me. With that money, I could get massages, I could get chiropractor work, I could buy healthy foods, get a water purifier, take a vacation, lower my stress from all the payments that I have. Stress is one of the number one causers of health problems. But I can't do that because I'm always stressed out because I have to pay for Obamacare because he scammed me into this health system that I didn't want to be part of. So there's nothing free or universal about it. There's nothing woke or revolutionary about it. It's a socialist communist health scam, and it's hilarious. I don't mean to pick on Jimmy Dore all the time. I really do like the guy. But he lies to his audience all the time and says, oh, Obamacare was a right-wing Mitt Romney care. Mitt Romney might have created it because he's a phony. You know, he's not a real conservative or whatever, and I don't even care about left or right, but like there's nothing right-wing about Obamacare. It's a socialist communist health scam that raises your finances. So I like Jimmy Dore. I think he's a great guy, but he's totally lying to his audience. There's nothing right-wing about Obamacare. It's a socialist communist scam where they mandatory individual mandate. They have to do that with Obamacare. They have to do that with Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez healthcare because they don't have trillions of dollars. And she was on CNN to talk about it. She doesn't know where the money's coming from because it's coming from you. It's coming from me. And how did they get it? Individual mandate. Requirement by law for certain persons, and in this case, certain persons is everybody. You have to purchase or obtain this package. It's really sick stuff. So it's nice to see this get news, and the news never covers it. It's okay. And here's the thing before I move on. It's okay to want Bernie Sanders health care. That's fine. It's okay to want Obamacare. It's okay to think these things and want these things. I'm not saying you don't have to, but the way that they lie about it, they say if you don't agree with this, you hate women and children. If you don't agree with this, you want people to die. It's simply not true, because not only are there millions of people who don't want health care, who would save tens of thousands of dollars by not having health care, and then take care of their own health and lower their stress. Like, I was super stressed when I had to pay this stuff, and it didn't help. I was sicker than I ever was. I've been less sick not doing that. Anyway, not only is that not true, but working families and these families that Obama said, you can keep your plan, it's not going to go down. It literally tanked the health industry. I don't know what people are paying attention to. Yeah, it wasn't great before, but Obamacare screwed the health industry completely. Premiums rose and rose and rose, 200%, 300%, 400%, 500%. But here's the kicker. The premiums were so high, no one can use their plan. Like, I'm younger, so mine was like $4,000 a year, $5,000 a year. Other people are not younger. It's $10,000 a year, $15,000 a year, and it doesn't work. So you're paying for something, you're forced to pay for something that literally doesn't work. Obamacare was a financial communist enslavement financial scam. I say this because it's financial enslavement. It's not physical enslavement. It's pay this money or pay this money. You're not free. Freedom is the opposite of enslavement. So when you're free, you have the choice to keep your doctor. You have the choice to buy your plan. You have the choice to not have a plan. You have the choice to do this. Obamacare made it so you don't have a choice. It's the opposite of freedom, and cowards and liars like Bernie Sanders and Obama and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, they mask this financial enslavement behind the guise of we're so free and it's universal and it's going to be free forever. Of course it's not going to be free. What multi-trillion-dollar plan do you know that's free? There's no such thing as a free. They're not doing it. It's always coming from the working class people. And I know, and I'm especially bothered because my family particularly, one side of my family has good health insurance because of their job. Other side of my family got screwed by Obamacare, and I know how hard my family works. I don't want to get into specifically what they do and stuff, but very hard jobs, working manual and working class labor for 30, 40 years for Obama to come around and screw my family out of tens of thousands of dollars. And, it's not good in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not here to talk about, yes, he ruled it unconstitutional. The take from the media is going to be, oh, it's a conservative judge. And Nancy Pelosi says, oh, it's such a travesty. And Xavier, whatever his name is, California Secretary of whatever, says, oh, it's so bad. We're going to make sure that we keep it here in California. That's why California needs a text message tax. That's why California needs a gas tax, because they don't have the money to pay for other people's insurance. And they're lobbying for millions of illegal immigrants and refugees to come live in California. So do the math. It's going up, 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 up. Millions of people come to the state and come to the country that don't pay into the system. They take out of the system. It's like a bell curve of prices going up, premiums going up, you not being able to use your health care, and with the individual mandate. Learn this word, tell this to people anytime they talk about Bernie Sanders or Obamacare. Individual mandate. It is financial enslavement to force you to pay for something that you don't want to pay with your own free will. It's not how prices go down. There's a reason that prices went up with Obamacare. How do you think you're going to get cheaper prices? If you have a street with 50 restaurants and they're all competing with each other for quality, for price, for how much food they have, it's how you get good food. You don't close the whole street down and say, we're all going to serve the same food and you have to pay for it or we're going to steal your money anyway. It's literal communism. It's literal like dictatorship, financial scam. I would think it is unconstitutional, regardless of what Obama or Bernie or what anyone says. And what really annoys me is, like I said, it's not that they feel this way. Like, just tell the truth about your plan. We're going to give healthcare to everybody, including illegal immigrants, including people who are, can't afford it, but also including people who don't have ambition and people who could get it through an employer. They could pay for their own, because especially with, nowadays, some plans, if you have no money, it costs like $40, $50. It's really not that expensive. They're going to cover it to everybody, but I wish they would tell you the truth. I wish Bernie and Obamacare would say, you're paying for it. We're going to force you to pay for it. It's not like you can't opt out of it. You have to pay for it. It's financial enslavement. We're going to steal your money. Then we're going to redistribute it. That's what communism is. They take your property. They take your money. They take your finances. They force you into things you don't want to do. They take away, your freedom to dissent. And then they say they're going to spread it around, but it has a 0% success rate in history. Why does it have a 0% success rate? Because you add pretty much every wrong philosophy and ideology when it comes to politics, when it comes to social issues, when it comes to finances, when it comes to economy, you combine them, it's like running into a wall at 500 miles an hour and wondering why your head hurts. Like, nothing about it makes sense. And I just want to repeat one more time to ingrain, not as like a propagandist or anything, but like, ingrain in people's head. The liars lie 10,000 times, so I'm going to tell the truth 10,000 times. The individual mandate in Obamacare, the individual mandate in universal health care is unconstitutional. It is an absolute financial enslavement. It is forcing you and me and other people to buy into a service that they don't want to do under their own free will. There's nothing cool about that. There's nothing free about that. Under Bernie Sanders, under Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and under liberals, your taxes always go up, and they're never going down, and they're going to tax more stuff. They're going to tax video games. They're going to tax gas. They're going to tax carbon. They're going to tax this. They're going to tax that, and then they're going to force you to buy stuff because they don't have the money. I mean, obviously, you can't let millions of people come into your state and your country illegally who suck billions of dollars out of the system. You can't have millions of people who are homeless and unemployed, even though there's more jobs available than there are people seeking jobs. Like in Brazil and other countries, people are unemployed because they can't find a job. The economy's too bad. In America, people are homeless and unemployed because they have mental health issues, which is a very real thing I would like to shed light to. But also, just to be honest, no one wants to say it, there's millions of people that are homeless and don't have health care and don't have IDs, not because they can afford it. It's because they're crackheads, they're heroin addicts, they're on opioids that the pharmacy industry gives them. Isn't that interesting? Maybe that's why I don't want health care, because they're pretty much giving people like cocaine and synthesized heroin, and then they end up on the street because they're doing all the drugs that they get through Obamacare, that they get through their $300 a month plan that I have to pay for, that I'm financially enslaved into. They take a bunch of opioids, get more addicted to it because it's even more addictive than marijuana and even other harder drugs, and now they're on the street. So it's like not everyone's on the street because they need Obamacare, and some of them are on the street specifically because of the pharmacy industry. And Bernie Sanders won't tell you that. Bernie Sanders won't tell you that I might want to take care of my own health instead of putting my entire life into the hands of the federal government and demanding that they pay for it. I really don't like Obamacare. I really don't like Bernie Sanders' care. I really don't like universal health care. It's not universal. It's not coming from the universe. It's not free. It's all coming from working class and families that worked hard for 20, 30, 40 years, and they don't have the money to do it, so they don't make it free. They force you to pay. There's nothing progressive about it. They're totally lying, and if you only listen to people who glorify it all the time, you've probably never heard of individual mandate. You probably had no idea it existed. It does. So if you watch Jimmy Dore, if you listen to Bernie Sanders or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as I know a lot of progressives like me because I give them the blunt truth, but I'm also nice, just question them, ask them, just like you can to me. I mean, I get bothered sometimes by basic little comments that don't matter, but like I have question and answers. Feel free to ask me anything. I do debates. I have a whole debate platform. I want to be questioned, because if I'm going to sit here and influence millions of people, I don't want to lead people in the wrong direction, and I should be questioned every step of the way, because if I lead people down the wrong path and I silence all dissenters, I'm no better than an authoritarian. And a lot of people do it on the left, and a lot of people do it on the right. They have ego, they have pride, they're super stubborn, and I don't want to be that way. So I love to be questioned about my policies, economics, everything, but a lot of these people, they don't want to tell you about the individual mandate, because it would ruin their whole fake narrative that they've built. From climate change to Green New Deal to universal health care. Like, I'm sorry, progressives are nice people at heart. They're right about the wars. They're right about the neoliberals, but they're wrong about pretty much everything else. And I've been saying it for a year. Right before I leave, the progressives are going to merge with the liberals, because economically, there's nothing about progressivism from universal health care. Like, there's nothing that liberals won't want. Like Nancy Pelosi, I'm sure she'll eventually cave to that, because that helps their agenda of total control. Like, forcing all of your citizens into health care that they don't want to be a part of, and stealing their tax money and raising their taxes, that fits right into the socialist, communist, authoritarian, neoliberal agenda. There's nothing that they don't want about that. They're just, maybe they have pharmacy interests for now, but there's nothing woke about being left-wing universal health care. It's financial enslavement for the working class. Creates a huge upper class that can afford it, and a huge lower class that, the middle class gets stripped into. And that's been slowly happening here in America. And it's not because of, I don't know, all these other things they're talking about. So individual mandate, learn about it. Obamacare sucks. Trump, thank you for getting rid of individual mandate. No one gives you credit. No one talks about it. Trump slashed individual mandate for next year. So if you don't want to buy health insurance next year, you don't have to. And I guarantee the prices are already going down, because that's what free market competition does over singular universal communism. It doesn't lower prices. It raises them. The second and final story of the day is